Hello, it's Blue Orange 22. If this is your first time on this channel, I am a men's rights activist, and this channel is a men's rights channel. I talk about the men's rights movement and the manosphere, and also tangibly adjacent issues such as incels, such as MAGTOW, such as all of the above. And I've been away from this channel for a little bit because it's becoming harder and harder to really think about what am I going to talk about as a men's rights activist. I mean, I've already done videos on virtually every issue there is to do. The education gap, conscription, male victims of domestic violence, men's health, etc. Probably more than once for each of those issues. 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, and today, none of them have really changed, and so none of them are really different. And it leaves me to think, where am I going with this channel next? Am I just going to keep making men's rights videos? Because if I am, what videos are really left to make? What issue have I not already talked about? And the depressing realization is, what if this channel isn't going to make any difference? What if I'm just making more videos about the same topics that thousands of people talk about all the time, and then 20, 30, 40 years later, nothing is really different? Maybe I should become more like Andrew Tate. Maybe I should put on some red pill character and start getting a bunch of views and start going viral. I could do that. I would know how to do that. It's not all that difficult, but that's not really me, and that's not really what I want to do. So maybe I should talk a little bit more about the dating world. And that seems to be a really big topic for today. How so many men are sexless or single, and the rise of incels. And that's interesting because there's a lot I could say about that. I actually do think that there is a growing movement of people who are beginning to see that incels are not the ones at fault. And these young men who are being cast aside, it really isn't their fault, and it really shouldn't be them being blamed, because look at the hostility that a young man faces in the dating world today. And just think about, for a second, I just want to say something about the word incel and just how ridiculous it is. Because incel nowadays, when I see people get called an incel, including myself on the internet, the bar is so ridiculously low, it basically doesn't mean anything. If you disagree with a woman online, you're an incel. If you say something a feminist doesn't like, you're an incel. If you suggest that young men have problems, you're an incel. If you say that maybe the reason why so many young men are having a hard time finding a date, and you do anything other than blame those men, you're an incel. But maybe we need to look in the mirror. Maybe we need to look at Andrew Tate and ask ourselves, okay, why did Andrew Tate become so popular so quickly? I don't think Andrew Tate is the core problem. I think Andrew Tate is a symptom of the core problem. Something exists. There is a condition that exists that allowed someone like Andrew Tate to become so famous so quickly. Because if what he says is total nonsense, and everyone says, oh, Andrew Tate's full of shit, and all he says is a bunch of crap, and it says nothing, and it's worthless. Okay, but then how did he get so popular so fast? My theory is a lot of young men have been beaten down for so long. And I can only imagine a teenage boy today, the constant hostility, the world in which they grew up. They basically grew up in a world where they were always surrounded by feminism, and they were always surrounded by misandry. So then when they see someone like Andrew Tate come along, it's like, oh, a man is allowed to speak back. A man is allowed to fight back. And now his words may not be perfect, but at least he fights for me. And I think there was a big part of that. So 4 minutes into this video, and it's already kind of a ramble. I'm not even sure what I was going to talk about, and I wasn't even sure what my title was going to be, but maybe that's what I should be doing. Maybe I should just be doing video vlogs of my day, the day-to-day life of a men's rights activist, all the random thoughts that pop into my head, because I do read about these things all the time, and I find it very, very depressing. So most of the time when I see something that I think, oh, this could be a good video, I just don't bother, because part of me doesn't really care anymore. It's very depressing. And the men's rights community, I hate to say it, is not the community I thought I once knew. You know, I used to think that it was this community of very close friends, of people who really work together and people who would really help each other no matter what. And then I kind of found out that the men's rights movement really is just a bunch of strangers on the internet. And it's not much more than that. And there's a few organizations here and there, sure. And I've made some good friends, sure. But we don't really have any real presence. Like, I can't call up my MRA friends and say, hey, let's go out to the movies tonight. Let's go to a restaurant tonight. Let's go catch a ball game tonight. Oh, let's come out and have a barbecue. That sense of community doesn't really exist. And I think it's a shame. And I don't know if feminism has that, but I think they have at least more of that than MRAs do. So, I don't know. The future of this channel, I'm going to get back to it, to making videos on a regular basis. And I'm going to get back to looking at news stories. And I might start remaking some of my older videos about men's issues like conscription or circumcision or pension ages. Because I guess I got a lot of new subscribers who may have never seen those older videos. But maybe I'll just do like a vlog. Maybe this will just be like the Thomas Carney Blue Orange 22 men's rights activist video vlog and just talk about whatever it is, I suppose. But I will say one thing. The more I think about the incel issue, the more I think that incel is such a meaningless thing. It's almost a compliment. It should almost, if someone calls you an incel online, you should wear it as a badge of honor. And it says more about the person that uses the word incel than it does about the person they're talking about. When I hear someone use the word incel, unironically, I immediately assume this person doesn't have any opinions worth listening to. So, anyway, I guess this video is just kind of a ramble, but I wanted to get something done. I know I did a video on transhumanism earlier today. I got some angry emails about that. A lot of you guys are really, really, really hoping that you die and get old and get decrepit. I don't really understand this. To me, it's very, very strange. Like, you have two choices. One, you get old and sick and decline. You get ugly. You get tired. Or you don't. And you stay young and you live a lot longer. Pretty easy choice if you ask me. But anyway, we'll get to that. I'm Blue Orange 22. Thanks for watching.